T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, boy! Bring the noise!
Check this out. Chuck D, Public Enemy #1, and Bringing the Noise of PhD Radio. All right?
Here is Laval. that was Laval, Dream Child, Kibble Records label. And as some of you know and some of you don't know, Professor Jimmy Bell couldn't make it in today. He's a busy man. He's got a lot of things going on, so he brought in a substitute teacher, and that teacher is John Kibble of Kivel Records. What's going on, John?
Hey there, Bruce. How you doing?
Doing great, man. I am so appreciative of Jimmy. Jimmy does great with fill-ins when he can't make it. He's a busy man, and I know you're a busy man, so I appreciate your time filling in for Jimmy, man. Great to have you.
Not a problem. More than happy to.
Okay, how's the levels? Everything sound good?
Sounding great.
Sounding great. Okay. Kibble Records. Let's start off with Kibble Records. How long you been in business? Your brainchild? Did you take it over? Let's start there.
Started the label back in 1998, and started. I guess you could say it was my brainchild. And just basically trying to release music for a genre that once dominated the mainstream, and giving it a chance to be heard by people that still crave it.
Yes. You know what? I love the sound. I love the music. And that's one thing needed here in the U.S. is somehow to bring it back like it was in the mid-'80s, late '80s, early '90s. I know it's real big over across the pond, as we call it, over in Europe, and so that's what you're trying to do, huh?
Yeah, little by little, doing our best. At the end of the day, it's a passion, it's a labor of love, above all else. I'm not here to do the flavor of the month or whatever is deemed the mainstream.
Sure.
I'm just doing what I personally love.
Beautiful.
And hopefully for like-minded people such as myself and you.
Sure, great. Yeah, like I said, we got something in common with Jimmy Bell, so definitely we're on the same page there.
He has incriminating photos of you too?
No, well...
Oh, it's just me.
No,
Oh, okay.
just
Awkward.
All right, let's start off. We'll get to Jimmy and Breakwall in a little later. Let's start out with some of the bands that you're promoting right now. I appreciate you sent me some great music and.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked them.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah,
I always like to tell people, getting a Kibble Records CD. You can't lose with it because you're either going to like the music or it makes a wonderful decorative coaster. How can you go wrong?
It's great music, great production. All right, let's start off with this. Who do you use as a your sound studio? You got your own, or do you sub it out? You got somebody?
Well, I have a couple of engineers that I've worked with over the years. I tend to gravitate to the producer that will work best with that particular band. Right now, I've been currently doing a lot of work with a gentleman by the name of Ty Sims, who's a fantastic engineer and producer, and has been very responsible for a lot of our recent releases, such as Laval, which is due the end of the summer, Tango Down, which came out in October. Great musician, great engineer, and a good friend. You'll be seeing a lot more stuff from him on the Kivel Records label over the next year. I've worked with a person by the name of Alex Salzman in the past. He was responsible for a lot of Adrian Gale releases we did, a lot of our early Kivel Records releases. Worked with Bo Hill. I'm sure you're familiar with him. Yep. He did the Bombay Black Psychomagnet release a couple years ago. Fantastic gentleman and amazing talent. It was a real treat and learning experience working with him. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But we're always keeping the door open for expanding our stable, both behind the board and in front of the mic. And right now we're currently pushing new artists on the label, such as Laval, which is due at the end of the summer, Tango Down, who just did the Rock and the Railroad Festival in Wyoming this past weekend with Queensryche, Slaughter, and Great White. It's a fantastic weekend. We made a lot of friends, and the band went over excellent response from the crowd. We have to give a shout-out to Robert Green, from Trails End Entertainment and his wonderful staff. They treated us like kings, so we're very appreciative of that.
Sure.
Of course, we got Melodic Rock Fest coming up
Yes,
in
we
the
do.
fall.
Now,
Where we're
Chicago.
Yeah.
Right? Chicago?
Arlington, Illinois, but we call it Chicago. It's
Chicago,
easy enough.
okay. What made you pick that area, that venue? Availability, or was it? Give us some insight on that. Why in Chicago area?
Well, it's real simple. Andrew McNeese is the boss. He wants to do it in Chicago. Then we do it in Chicago.
Okay.
I just think he likes their deep dish pizza, and he doesn't want to admit it to me.
Okay.
You know, I'm a New York boy, so it's like that whole Chicago pizza, New York pizza.
Sure. Okay. That's point blank. That's the reason why.
I mean, it's going to be a great weekend. I mean, you're going to have tons of great bands of the genre. House of Lords, Steve Jury, Harem Scarum making their first U.S. appearance. Ted Poley of Danger will be there.
Sure.
We're going to have a bunch of Kibble Records bands there. No Love Lost, which is a new signing. Great band. The singer has monster pipes. I can't wait for the people there to hear him. Adrian Gale, another Kibble band, will be there. And as well as Tango Down, of course.
Cool.
So it's going to be a great weekend with a lot of great people. We were involved with the last two Melodic Rock Fests with Andrew, and it's always a fun weekend. Lots of great people and good times.
Are you finding other major cities, big cities throughout the U.S. looking, trying to host it, or?
Well, again, Andrew McNeese, he's very fond of that region, and the last one was in Chicago, and this one is in Chicago. The first one was Indiana. As far as it changing venues / state, I couldn't answer that. That's a question you would have to ask Andrew.
Okay.
But right now, we're hanging our hats in Illinois, and we're very happy.
Okay, let's talk about some of your stable. Are you looking overseas, Europe, Germany, over in that area, trying to get some music over there?
Well, our CDs are distributed over in Europe. We have a lot of our customer base purchased from all over Germany, England, Spain. Our bands have played in Europe.
That's what I was talking about. Tour, get them.
Oh yeah, we play them when we can get them. We've done our bands have been involved in such festivals in the past as Firefest and Nemo Rock in Spain. We'd like to get over there more often, but it's just a question of opportunities presenting themselves. So, any promoters from Europe listening, the door's open. We'd love to come to play your party.
Yeah, I do have a network over there. We have Dan the Man, Rock Posers Roulette Radio.
Oh, Dan's a great guy.
Yeah, okay, yeah, of course. Why am I telling you that? I'm sure you've known him longer than I have. A great guy, and he's trying to get some of the U.S. over there. So hopefully he's got a little network going on there. All right, let's. We're gonna go next to my man, my co-host on Wednesdays. We are building a show. I've known Jimmy. We lost touch for 20 years. I knew him back in the 80s. Joined Forces. Have you ever? Hey, John, have you heard the Joined Forces CD yet?
Absolutely.
Okay. They were, and he won't admit it. I'll say it. They were the Van Halen of the tri-state area. They were the bomb, man. They were the shit.
Great. They were great.
Yep. So we reconnected, and man, I had this radio show started up, and I said, man, this would be too cool to get Jimmy Bell on it. So yeah, of course, as humble and as cool as a guy he is, he said, hell yeah. So we've been doing this show now for about 2 months. So I'm building a show around him, his music, his past music, his future endeavors, and so I see you had the same idea.
Yeah. Jimmy and I we kept crossing paths, and he came down and checked out a Tango Down show in Connecticut, and we just started chatting. super nice guy. Only rivaled by how amazingly talented he is.
Yes.
And we just talked about maybe doing some shows together. And, you know, it came from the fact that I kind of, you know, House of Lords is playing Melodic Rock Fest, and one thing just led to another, and we just started talking. The next minute I know, we're talking about doing a project. And we come up with this concept to do a band that will get to showcase his talents a little bit differently than it does in House of Lords. You know, kind of remove the restrictions that he has in House of Lords. Not saying that what he does in House of Lords is bad.
Right.
It's just by removing him from that band allows him to do a little bit more, because he doesn't have to stay within the confines of what that band has been known to do.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going to let him get a little edgier, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And we started brainstorming, and we started coming up with ideas of who we would want to be in this. And next minute, we were looking for a singer, and we were trying this guy, that guy, a friend of this guy, some cousin of this girlfriend, and it was one of those things where it was just like, wait a minute, the singer's right under our nose.
Yes.
And we were just like, why are we looking? He's right here. And we called up Levio and like, you want to do this? And he was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, well, you got a vocalist and a front man all in one.
Oh, absolutely. I really can't wait for people to see them play out, because I don't think people even have a clue of how the energy levels is on 12 with this band.
Yep.
And Levio, I mean, he's like the Energizer Bunny. It's just unbelievable.
Yep, and then you brought along, well, you included, we won't say brought along, but BJ and Chris also. BJ Zampa and Chris McCarville.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, the wheel's not broke, why fix it? You know, it just again, it was one of those things where we just looked at each other like, why are we wasting our time? We got these guys right here. And
Yep.
they're great guys, great musicians, and there is you know, there's a chemistry already there. It just made sense. It just made sense. And I want to set something straight for people that I've heard a lot of people say is like, oh, this is just House of Lords with a different singer. It's not. This is going to be a different band.
Different sound, different.
Exactly.
Yeah,
this
I
is
know.
not going to sound like House of Lords with another person singing. This
Yep.
is going to sound like this band.
Right.
And to the average casual listener that does not know that these guys were from House of Lords, they would never in a million years say, this sounds like House of Lords.
Because they are diversified, all of them. They can do blues, they can do rock, they can do melodic, they can do jazz.
Let me just tell you. Let me tell you. Jimmy Bell plays a mean polka.
Well,
It really was the deal. It's really what sealed the deal on it.
I believe it. I believe it. All right, so the name of the band is Breakwall, and
Yes, sir.
when is it too? It's way too early to say when we're looking for a CD release.
Right now, to put it to a specific date, yes, it would be too soon. I can tell you this: it'll be the early part of 2014.
Okay,
The
there you
band's
go.
currently writing and demoing. I've already heard 3 songs, and I got to tell you, I was immensely pleased. It's everything that we want it to be and then some.
Well, you got a bunch of professionals in your stable corral. The guys love music. Look at them. Look at Jimmy. How many shows does he do a week? You know?
Well, you know, I don't know. He seems. I mean, honestly, he seems to be in 2 places at the same
He
time.
does.
I'm really,
one weekend we counted. He did 5 shows from like Thursday night till Sunday. He did.
I really think the man's cloned himself. It's really the only explanation I can.
Yeah, I mean, he don't quit, and he's got his hands going this way, that way, and we love him because of that. And yeah, you got a I cannot wait for. Hopefully, I get a sneak peek or a sneak listen. If I got to keep it under wraps, I will. But hopefully, I can.
I guess I'm sure that you'll be one of the first people, Bruce, to be hearing Breakwall before anybody else.
Great. All right. Where else you want to go, John? You got anything else going on?
Well, you know, nothing really. Like I said, you know, Tango Down's playing all over right now. They just did Wyoming's Rock and the Railroad Festival. They're going to be playing Wolf Fest in Colorado in October. They're going to be playing Melodic Rock Fest in September in Chicago, and they're going to be playing Harvest Fest in November in Maryland. So Tango Down's out on the road. They're busy. They're pushing and plugging away the Identity Crisis album, which you can order and purchase on KibbleRecords.com.
There you go. We got you up there.
And Adrian Gale's going to have a brand new album out. It's going to be their first album on the label in just shy of 10 years. And the album's called Sucker Punch. They're also going to be playing at Melodic Rock Fest. And let me tell you, if you're a fan of that Def Leppard, lush, big, huge wall of vocals with, you know, melodic hook and great leads. I mean, I couldn't tell you how enough good things about this band. But if you're a fan of that genre, you want to check out Adrian Gale's Sucker Punch, which will be released at Melodic Rock Fest. And of course, we have 2 new releases coming out as well in the fall. No Love Lost, who's also playing Melodic Rock Fest. Okay. Great band out of the Carolina area. And then Laval, which you just heard earlier.
Sure.
Great guitarist out of Massachusetts. The singer hails from Germany. It's a band made up of who's who of musicians. And if you're a fan of George Lynch, Vito Bratta, and people like that, I highly recommend Laval. It's definitely a guitar player album.
All right. Do you have your eye on somebody that's not quite under the label rap yet? Anybody coming up that maybe we should keep an eye out for?
Pretty much named them all.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I mean, but we're always got things cooking in our laboratory. Yeah. So you may see a few more surprises in 2014. Not going to say anything just yet, but we got a lot of stuff planned for 2014. You know, I could say is that this is going to be a strong year for the label. The bands are all playing out, new releases coming out, a lot of merchandise. We're going to get out there with our bands, try to meet as many of the customers and fans as possible, and just make friends and fans and just relationships and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. Well, you can go to all my listeners, PhD Radio Show, Facebook page. We got. How'd you like that banner there, John? Well, we took your promo pic, but spiced it up a little bit. Got all your links on there. So,
well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Go to KibbleRecords.com and check out all the bands on the label. And great talking to you, John. Hopefully, we'll be talking some more in the future. And can't wait for Breakwall. That's the main thing I'm waiting to hear, some Breakwall music. And anything you want out there, send it my way.
I just like to say thanks for giving me time on your microphone. I appreciate it. No. I hope your listeners were not bored to tears by my babble.
Not at all.
I hope you can make it out to Melodic Rock Fest in September. It'd be a fun time, and I think your listeners would enjoy you covering the show.
Well, we're a small little radio show right now, but we are getting bigger by the week. So let's hopefully we can have a budget to be able to do something like that.
Maybe we work something out for you. And any of your listeners that would like to come to Melodic Rock Fest, they could get their tickets by going to melodicrockfest.com.
There you go.
And there's tickets online there to purchase. And again, 3 days of amazing artists. Eric Martin from Mr. Big, House of Lords with Jimmy Bell, Harum Scaram's first U.S. appearance, Steve Jury, the former lead singer of Journey, will be there. Tons of great bands.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna.
We need a whole nother show to name the whole lineup.
Yeah, we're gonna get a PhD radio show hat for Jimmy. So when he's there, we actually will be there, and we're gonna do interviews over the cell phone. How's that?
Hey, you know what? Whatever works for you, man.
Yeah. Hey, we can do it. It's rock and roll's live. We can do it. All right, John, man. Thanks again.
Now that I know Jimmy will have a PhD hat.
Yep.
Now I will allow him to come into Melodic Rock Fest. Before we weren't going to let him in the building, but now we'll let him in. Now we'll let him in.
All right, great. All right, we're going to roll out with Tango Down, Dream Child, and we're going to keep all the music in rotation, John. Thank you again for sending it our way, and Every Wednesday we're gonna keep this music going. So appreciate showing the love, buddy.
Well, thanks for having me, Bruce, and thank you to all your listeners for listening, and I hope they enjoy our bands.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Fantasy calling while you lay down to sleep. Feel yourself falling in a dream so deep. Outside your window, listen to the stone. Inside your bedroom, the journey's just begun. Vivid imagination, rainbows never end. Beautiful fascination, dancing in your head. Little dream time, come into life tonight. Be my dream time. I've got the feeling, a beautiful sound. Dream time, chasing the nightmares away. Little dream time, while we're younger is where you play. And while you're flying on the other side, not saying I'm buying, I can't say you right. Mystical places, a perfect Shangri-La. Magical places, no matter where you are. Wild-eyed infatuation in all that you crave. Unleash those complications that we all create. Little dream time, come into life tonight. Be my dream time. I got the feeling, a beautiful sound. Dream time, chasing the nightmares away. Little dream time. Lightning strikes just from a spark. Stairways lead us out of the dark. Temporary leave this earth, 'cause in your dreams there is rebirth. Come into life tonight. Be my dream time. I got the feeling, a beautiful sound. Dream time, chasing the nightmares away. Little dream time, little dream time. Come into life tonight. Be my dream time. I got the feeling, a beautiful
This is Bombay Black. Hell of a time.
I got a bad case of Southern
selective amnesia. That liquid aphrodisia was full on anesthesia. I got a good feeling, I lost track for a while, but since I'm not on trial, just might enjoy denial.
I can't remember everything I didn't do. Don't take a photograph as any kind of proof. Yeah, must have been a hell of a party. Yeah, must have been a hell of a time.
I gotta be queso, alethophobia, 'cause somebody told ya something to roll your eyes to. Some little factoid, you wonder if I did it, but I just can't admit it, 'cause I don't know if I hit it.
I can't remember everything I didn't do. Don't take the words of friends 'cause they were drinking too. Yeah, must have been a hell of a party. Yeah, must have been a hell of a time. So bad it was good, and I'm back in the doghouse tonight. I can't remember how I got this tattoo, 'cause it's some woman's name that woman isn't you.
I got a bad case of selective amnesia. That liquid aphrodisia was full on anesthesia.
Yeah, must have been a hell of a party. Yeah, must have been a hell of a time. Yeah, must have been a hell of a soiree. Yeah, must have been tequila and lime. So bad it was good, and I'm back in the doghouse tonight. Yeah, must have been a hell of a party. Yeah, must have been a hell of a time.
Hey, here's another one by Tango Down, Corner of My Mind.
Little thoughts tucked away, waiting for the green lights. Someday, someday, when the time is right. I keep feeling tomorrow up with what I should do today. I wake up with the sun rays. When I get out of my own way, there are still dreams on the inside, waiting in the corners of my The sun rolls away too fast, burning all my time. Each day filled in advance, living gets pushed aside. Shaking trees in a daydream keeps me from chasing what could be. When I wake up with the sun rays, when I get out
was Tango Down.